Well, since the United States government is avidly refusing to tell you what is going on in our skies regarding these drones over New Jersey and New York and other areas here in the United States, I have been avidly and obsessively, shall I say, collecting information on what I think is going on. And I'm going to bring you my assessment. In fact, a new theory has just risen. I know Justice Knight put out a report on my channel yesterday. Hopefully you saw that, and it really expands on what I'm going to say today. Because the truth of the matter is, I thought that these were definitely foreign interference. I thought, hey, China, Iran, that was my initial intent, because the government was so avidly denying that it was foreign interference, or even our military, right? That I thought, well, they always lie, they always do. And right now they're telling us it's nothing. It's neither a foreign adversary, neither is the United States government, but they know there's no threat to society, which you wouldn't know that at all if you don't know what the hell it is. But either way, they're lying to us, right? They know what it is. But I originally thought it was foreign adversaries. I am really changing my tune on that right now. So much more information has come across, and I'm thinking it's definitely domestic. And I believe very well our United States government could be behind it. Let's start with this. And I'm going to go backwards to go forward, but I got a ton to share with you, and you're going to want to watch this report. New theory, like I said. Here we have businessdefense.gov, and it starts with this. The Defense Production Act Title III was renewed under Donald J. Trump. And what that basically says is, hey, in a nutshell, let's start, making sure that the DPA ensures that drones, medicals, and technologies are all made right here in the United States of America. Great. I like that. I'm all for it. Why would we want the technology being made in foreign hands, especially when it comes to freaking drones, right? So let's make them here. Obviously, that birthed two other programs, the Blue UAS and the Replicator program, but it also birthed this little thing. And I'm going to bring this up, and this is HR 5315, Drone Infrastructure Inspection Grant Act. This isn't a grant that was passed in the House, right? And this was back in 2022, I guess was the last action, but they passed this grant. And in this grant, if you scroll down a little bit, it says, okay, here's what the grant money is for. One of the things that the grant money is for is drone infrastructure. So anything that could go build drones and gets drone infrastructure. And they gave, right, in grant money, 50 million plus 50 million, 100 million to be authorized for 2023 and 50 million for 2024. So there's $100 million to go through the infrastructure. Then they also gave another $100 million. So basically 200 million together, but the other 100 million went to drone education and training grant programs. And you could see 50 million for 2023 and 50 million for 2024. So we have all this grant money being crapped out by our United States government via this bill that passed in Congress. And so to the tune of $200 million for training and the infrastructure of drones, right? So big money was just spent in 2023. And here we are, more money is yet being spent in 2024, and we're at the end of 2024. So please keep that in mind. Now, with all of that, some of that grant money, right? I believe some of that grant money went to this. This is the NARTP, National Aerospace Research and Technology Park. And you see the NARTP signs a cooperative research and development agreement with U.S. Transcom, United States Air Force Air Mobility Command, and ACEA. Right? The agreement opens the test corridors stretching from Joint Base McGregor-Dix Lakehurst to Dove Air Force Base, linking to New Jersey. Now, before I get into the details of that, because they are insane, I want to remind you, get to restrictedrepublic.com. Justice Knight is putting an extended version of even more information on this particular on these drone sightings. So sign up for Restricted Republic, do it as fast as you can, hit the pause button if you need to, but go there, use the coupon code Trump47. That's going to give it to you for $2.99 per month. That lasts 3 years, but use that coupon code and it'll get you that monthly access there as well. So check it out at restrictedrepublic.com. All right, but back to this, right? Let's go back to this. So the NARTP signs this research and development agreement with these three agencies. Well, what was the agreement that they signed? Well, here's what it says. And first of all, by the way, they received some of the grant money. I want to start with that. In early 2023, the NARTP was awarded $2.249 million congressional dollars for directly spending requests to advance AAI. And what did they use to advance? Well, obviously drones. But here's what they said. Under the terms of the Cooperative Research and Development Agreement, the parties will cooperatively develop a prototype dual-use U.S. East Coast test and evaluation corridor for the demonstration, the development, and evaluation of military, commercial, academic, and federal government UAS and AAM technologies with future applications to strategic aircraft capabilities in the U.S. of the U.S. Air Force. UASs are often referred to as drones. While AAM involves the use of electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft to move people and cargo between places not easily served by other modes of transportation, both UAS and AAM technologies are being developed rapidly by government and military agencies and private industries, and the testing corridor will help safely integrate them into national airspace. And then it goes on to talk about what this corridor is and where it's located. It says the availability of the UAS AAM evaluation corridor between Joint Base McGregor, right, in New Jersey, and Dover AFB, the Air Force Base in Delaware. That is the base. And I'm going to show you the coordinates on that base in just a moment. But I want to start with the fact this agreement was signed, right, in conjunction. Obviously, they're working with the government on this thing, and that makes it clear in this paragraph, right? So they're working with the DoD. They're working with the United States government. It says that here. U.S. Transcom, by the way, is one of the 11 unified commands of the U.S. Department of Defense. In both times of peace and war, U.S. Transcom role is to provide the DoD with air, land, and sea transportation, and they were founded in 1987 and is based off Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. So there's kind of that idea of them. So we have this company, they sign this agreement, and in this agreement, they're saying, okay, we can fly our drones and certain stuff in this little corridor to practice, right? Which, hey, great, we need that practice. We need to be able to have that because Lord only knows we're looking at potential for World War III. We have to have some kind of area that they can fly their stuff in. But either way, if you look at that corridor, right, and I went to MapQuest and mapped it out on a map, and I said, let's go from Joint Air Force Base there in New Jersey, the McGregor Air Force Base there to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. And here's that map. So you can see right there, the letter A goes all the way down to Delaware. So one in New Jersey and one in Delaware, which, by the way, half of that, going up to New Jersey has been a location where people are definitely seeing these drones. Here's the drone map to kind of give you an idea of some of these darker areas. And there's Trump National Golf Course Club Bedminster, which isn't far from that area. But this definitely includes some of that corridor. So let's put the two maps together so you can kind of see that a little better. And I tried to blow the one farthest from my head up a little bit so it kind of matched. But you can see some of that is the same corridor. And I don't know how wide it is or long it is, but here's kind of the corridor. But definitely some of that falls in the same area. Then, if you look at this map here is the map of U.S. military bases and facilities in New Jersey. So you can see some of those go a little higher, which would be the other areas that we are potentially seeing some of these drones, which they claim they are flying over military infrastructure, as well as, some of like our reservoirs and critical infrastructure, which we should know. But if you put this map together with the map of where these drones have been sighted in like New Jersey and kind of like that New York area-ish a little bit, you can see they kind of line up as well. So this is why I'm definitely thinking, I think this is more us driven than anything, right? And the question that therein lies is, why aren't they telling us what it is? Why aren't they telling us? If they're working with these private sectors that are funded by the DoD or whatever, why aren't they telling us? Well, first of all, we all know that they're out there in the mainstream media now saying, we don't know what they are. But you don't have to worry about it. It's not our military bases and it's not foreign advocates, right? Which technically, these companies that I've showed you, or the one company that I showed you, is a private sector company funded by the DoD. So technically, they can claim it's not them. See where I'm going with this? They can definitely say, oh, it's not us. It's just agencies we fund and gave grant money. And how many agencies like that exist? Good question, right? We definitely have drones that can look like planes, and they carry, stuff. And by the way, there have been reports of these drones spewing stuff on the ground. I've seen it. Not with my own eyes. I've seen the reports and the physical videos on it, but there's not much I can confirm on that right now at this point. But anyway, this is what the DoD and our government does. It's not us, because it's private companies that we're giving all this grant money to. And I guarantee you there's probably other companies they're giving grant money to that could be flying these things, which is why they're out there saying, oh, it's not harmless, but they're really playing up the fear card. And that got me thinking, why are they continuing to deny it? Why not just say, we're testing stuff and fill in the blank? Well, one of those reasons I think they continue to deny it is, one, they want to build up fear. And I've brought this up before for, a new counter drone strategy that they want in place. And by the way, this strategy is classified to the American public. Take a look. FoxNews.com, Pentagon announces new counter-drone strategy as unmanned attacks on U.S. interests skyrocket. This got introduced as all these drones start popping up. And then Mayorkas, which, makes my ears ring, comes up and he says this. I'm going to play this section for you. Take a listen.
And so that is the reality. But I want to assure the American public that we are on it. We are working in close coordination with state and local authorities. And it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited, and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
So suddenly, Mayorkas comes out, who's denying everything that's going on. He says, but, we're going to deny everything. We don't know what the hell it is, but we know it's not bad, even though if they don't know what it is, then they wouldn't know if it's bad or good or a threat. But hey, and he says, we don't have enough authority and we need to come and take some action on this. In other words, the timing on this is impeccable. We need to pass this and do what we need to do right now. It's almost as if he gave away the card right there. So you're doing all of this, pushing panic, and fear, so you can get some new legislation passed. And they need the fear to get it done. And by the way, it's classified. The question that I have is, what the hell is in it? We just don't know yet. Could they be banning our drones? Say, hey, all these drones that keep flying over, Hurricane Helene, ravished areas, we need to find something that can, stop the American people from doing that, per se. Banning drones for American citizens, fill in the blank. Or who knows what the hell's in it. But I'm really worried that something like that could be on it, considering the amount of fear that they are building from people. I mean, massive amounts of fear or panic. Could they have some stipulations in there? Oh, yeah, they obviously don't want us doing that, because we revealed what a crappy job FEMA is doing and has been doing for a very long time. Now, here's another thing, and this is new. Another new theory that they could be denying it, right? Obviously, fear sells, right? But another is maybe the drones are nuclear sniffers looking for some kind of radioactivity, or maybe they're practicing for looking for radioactive nuclear activity. Here's what I say about that. For starters, let me take you this article. I'm going to start here. And this is on Zero Hedge. New theory. New Jersey drone sightings may be nuclear sniffers following elevated New York City radiation levels, right? The founder of an aerospace company specializing in military-grade drones published a video on the Chinese social media platform TikTok sharing his thoughts on the mystery drone sightings in New Jersey. Now, that's what Justice Knight is going to kind of expand on, but I'm going to give you the basics here, and here's what he says. He goes, let's go back a few years. Remember when those drones were mysteriously flying across I-70 from Colorado to Nebraska to Kansas and then to Missouri? Well, He says, it was believed that those drones were looking for radioactive material that came up missing in the U.S. And he's referencing this, by the way. Drones swarm in 3 states. They prompt the FAA, FBI, and FBI investigations of mysterious drones over Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska. And by the way, that was in 2020. So this has happened before. And by the way, they told us back then, we have no idea. As of now, no one seems to know who owns those or who is operating those. They're playing the same cards, folks, playing the same cards over and over again. But he goes on. Ferguson then explained the various payloads drones can support, such as laser sensors and optics. And he added, drones have no reason to fly at night. That's key, because they don't see shit. Unless you have thermal optic drones, really don't see stuff at night. Mapping must be done during the day. Ferguson then segued into the purported drone sightings in New Jersey, noting, these drones are not nefarious intent, but if they're drones, the only reason they would be flying and flying that low at night is because they're trying to smell something on the ground. His belief is that these drones are trying to smell something on the ground, if that's gas leaks or radioactive material or whatever. Another theory, right? His theory was also shared by an ex-user, Jersey Fuentes, which the account is now deleted, a self-proclaimed RF engineer who speculated what you're seeing in America is made HPG nuclear detective drones. And he actually shared an image of one of the drones there in the picture there. You can kind of see the drone there. So we have that, right? Which looks kind of like the things that people have been seeing in the skies. And by the way, there is an increase, or there was an increase. I haven't checked it out recently, but simultaneously, the website was down when I had tried to access it. And I've tried to access it all morning, but simultaneously, the website Geiger Counter World Map shows counts per minute between 222 and 278 in New York City. In other words, there's an increase in radiation. See those 2 orange dots? Those are never good. Those are never good. And you can see the scale here. It's probably more that mid-light orange range from 1,000 to 5,000 to 600, right? Kind of spiking in that area. But that's more, again, in the New York area, and the New York area kind of alone. And here is, oh, it did open finally. So I got that radiation map pulled up a little bit just to kind of give you an idea. Right now, however, it's not showing any spike in New York. Oh, nope, it is. Zoom in a little more. Talk it out. So a little bit there in that area. Let's blow it up. So it's showing a little bit there in the New York area. Why or what's causing it? I have no idea. That's the latest update that finally loaded for me. Had it on there. But anyway, what's interesting is what they also told the New Jersey mayor, right? Take a look at this. And this is all new stuff, folks. But New Jersey mayor, and this is on Gateway Pundit, says state told him to call hazmat and the bomb squad if any drones are downed. And I have seen footage of a downed drone, but we weren't given any information after that. Surprise, surprise. So anyway, look, this could be number one. Here's my thought. So why don't they tell the public if they're just in the skies running a drill to see if there's any radiation? Let's say it's a drill. Why wouldn't they tell us? Well, one of the reasons they wouldn't tell us is they want to gauge panic from the public. They want to see how the public responds. Just saying. The other reason they may not tell us is if there is an actual threat of some kind and they're actually looking for something. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, what is it? And I'm asking, what is it? Because they're not telling us. And they're out there telling us it's not foreign, it's not us, but it's not harmful. And it just so happens to be in a major area that they have established for drones in the skies. And none of them have been shot down. They have full capability and authority to shoot them down if they are a threat in certain areas, and they haven't done that. Donald Trump has already called to shoot them down. None of that has happened. Interesting. So there's kind of a little more on that, my theory, putting things together, and wanted to get it out. Anyhow, I love you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Havens signing out.